So then, why don't I make a fresh pot of tea for us all?
Objection!
An admirable performance, Mr. Naruhodo. But in the final act of the show there, you rather missed everything of importance. Mr. Shlomes? If you would cast your mind back to my earlier deduction. Iris, clearly you're hiding a great secret. She is, from the look on her face. Mr. Shlomes must be right. Whatever the great secret is, the cat isn't out of the bag yet. So, I put it to you again. You were attempting to abscond with that coffee cup. Keep switching between coffee cup and teacup. Really is a shame about Mr. Shlomes' cup. It must have been smashed when Professor Mikataba opened the chest. Oh dear. So many things seem to have been broken here. But now that the deduction has taken a different direction, Iris doesn't seem to be trying to hide the broken cup anymore. In other words, a great secret is something else. Let's put our observational skills to work here one final time then. I mean, you can see it. Like there. Ah, look there. There seems to be more papers there. Is Iris trying to hide them underneath the tray? The insignia, Mr. Naruhodo. It's an official Scotland Yard document. What? But why would Iris have... We must ask her. An official Scotland Yard document. Alright, let's add that one then.
Take that!
You were attempting to abscond with that case file. Iris, as you know very well, nothing escapes the attention of a great detective. Oh no. We visited Scotland Yard's autopsy laboratory earlier today, and Dr. Goring informed us that the autopsy report of Clint Van Zykes had gone missing. Clint Van Zykes? Yes, I do seem to recall. That some years ago I asked to see the report in question. You were with me, weren't you, Iris? You mean it was you, Iris? So those papers you have there are... I'm sorry. Forgive me? Oh dear. To hide the case file. Elementary. In truth, I would like to have thought I could have predicted the booby-trapped chest. But it caught me completely off guard. I was very nearly the late consulting detective Herlock Sholmes. What about Mikataba? Is he dead? I'm sorry, Hurley. So you mean, this autopsy report really is... Yes, I took it from the lab, even though I knew it was very important. Was there something in it that troubled you, Iris? Not exactly something that troubled me. Something I'd been looking for. When I saw this report, when I saw the writing in it, I knew it was Daddy's. The writing? Your father's writing? What do you really mean? Iris? Must be something that's hard for her to talk about. Forgive me for interrupting, my dear fellows. Mr. Shlomes, what is it? I feel as though the poor unconscious gentleman on the settee has been somewhat forgotten. Ah, father! I was gonna say, like, he's still unconscious. Perhaps we should find our guest somewhere more peaceful to rest. Mr. Naruhodo? Yes? Check his neck is not broken. Would you be so kind as to lend him your bed? We must do our very best to make him comfortable, I feel. Oh, yes, of course. I'll help you carry him up. So will I. No, I can manage alone, thank you. You have tea to enjoy. We wouldn't want Iris's brew to stew. No, we wouldn't. Because there's no better way to make the professor comfortable than dragging him upstairs like a trunk. I wonder, perhaps that was deliberate. Maybe Mr. Schlombus is making himself scarce to give Iris the chance to talk more freely. Clearly, must use this opportunity to talk with Iris and find out what's going on. Right, let's have a word with you then. Your daddy. Would you like to tell us about it, Iris? About your father? I'm sure I told you before, didn't I? That Daddy used to be Hurley's partner. Yes, and that notes about all the cases they solved together are kept inside that metal chest. That's right. Hurley told me, you see. They said that Daddy's somewhere far away now, so we can't meet. That's one way of describing it. Then, when I secretly unlocked the chest and read through the papers inside, I started to build up a picture in my head of what Daddy must be like. Oh, that's only natural. You're just like any other girl your age. I read that Daddy was a professor of medical science, so I studied and took my degree too. Well, that's only natural, I suppose. In that respect, you're not quite like any other girl of your age, though. But there was one thing that I could never find out. Daddy's name. His name wasn't anywhere on the notes that he'd made about his work with Hurley. But then one day... That's what happened, is it? When you saw this autopsy report, you finally managed to work it out. Is that right? Yes. So it was the handwriting in the report that caught her eye. The autopsy report? When I saw the writing on that report, I could hardly believe it. I know that handwriting, I thought to myself. Because it was the same as the writing you'd seen on your father's case notes? Exactly. I was desperate to compare the two properly. I needed to see them side by side. I asked the doctor in the laboratory, but I was told I couldn't take the report away, so I nicked it. And even worse, I was told that was the first and last time we'd be allowed to even look at it there. The last time as well? Strange. So you decided to steal it. When I compared the autopsy report with the case notes I had there was no doubt. The handwriting was exactly the same. It was Daddy's. And the signature of the coroner at the bottom of the autopsy report read Dr. John H. Wilson. So that's how I finally found out. I learnt Daddy's name at last. I see. Ever since then, I've called myself Iris Wilson. Huh. So it could be a case of, like, he's not your father. Right? Like, she's made that leap. No one else has. Huh. And that's also when I had the brilliant idea of writing stories all about Daddy's exciting times with Hurley. I decided there and then that I'd write The Adventures of Herlock Sholmes. Oh, Iris. I had no idea the stories had quite such a deep personal significance for you. can see why the autopsy report was so important to her now. And why she was prepared to break the law to get her hands on it. I must apologize, Iris. This is really all my fault. Early? I made a promise, you see, that until the time was right, I'd keep the details about your father a secret. I know, I've been very naughty. It just occurred to me, it's like... How have I not noticed that before? That I may be wrong, that might be why I've not noticed. She's 10 years old. 10 years ago. She's fundamentally connected to everything going on, isn't she? So whose daughter is she actually? Huh. Okay, so let's see this. These blue eyes. No. I mean, it's gonna be someone from Britain. Maybe she's related to Gina? He's got... nah, he's got more... They're more blue. Like, she's got a slightly more, like, teal green look to them. Like, they're definitely blue. They're teal. They're more white than anything. They're more like a grey blue. Maybe Vigil? No. So yeah, it's like how did I not like take that in before? Like, she's 10 years old. She's definitely fundamentally connected to the Professor's stuff, the Reaper, everything going on there. Like, she's so well connected to this that I didn't even think about it until now. I know I've been very naughty. I'll take the autopsy report back to Dr. Gorey and apologize. I promise. Yes. We'll go together, I think. Is this all to... Is Shlome's doing all this stuff to just protect her? Is that what's been going on with him? Then let me look after it for you until we get there. Clint's autopsy report has been entered into the court record. Okay. Let's have a look at it. Let's have a look at it. Clint Van Zyg's male, 33, British, time of death 31st of May, between 9 and midnight. Coroner is John H. Wilson. Death from a single stab wound to the heart, other superficial external wounds indicative of a duel. Ah. Recent scarlet ink stains visible on the little and ring fingers of the right hand. No documenting corresponding ink was found. Huh. Vital evidence recovered from the victim's stomach during autopsy. Credit to Inspector Gregson for petitioning so doggedly for the autopsy procedure. No internal trauma noted anywhere in the body. Interesting. I must go and water my herbs, I think. I'll see you all later. Yeah. Poor Iris. She must be feeling awful. I know Mr. Shlomes is here for her, but still. And such. What? How? What's the meaning of this, Mr. Shlomes? Mr. Shlomes? Oh dear me. So, you've noticed, I see. But that would mean... What on earth's the matter, Miss Suzuto? You've turned as white as a sheet. It's this autopsy report, Mr. Naruhodo. The one from 10 years ago. What did I miss? What did I miss? The writing. The writing. I mean... It's just... All we see is the signature, so it's sort of like, what about the writing? What? isn't Dr. Wilson's at all. Huh? What do you mean? How could you possibly know that? Because I know this writing very well. This writing, it's my father's. What? What? Professor Mikataba's? Indeed, it's true. And now you know, my dear fellows. No, I don't know anything. What on earth does all this mean, Mr. Shlomes? Because the idea that's slowly forming in my mind is just too extraordinary to believe. Please, you have to explain. The autopsy report writing. So, this autopsy report was actually penned by Professor Mikataba then? That makes no sense. It's not possible. Surely. Not possible? My dear fellow, pray take a deep breath and think again. Yes, you're right. In some ways, it actually makes a great deal of sense. What? It does? I'm with Ryunosuke on this. 10 years ago is when Father returned to Japan after his extended study tour in Britain. And prior to his return, where was Dr. Mikataba engaged? Ah, of course. He was an assistant in Dr. Wilson's laboratory, learning about forensic science. And as an assistant, he would have aided with the dissection work, making detailed notes, which would be assembled into the full autopsy report. Once the work was complete, the head coroner would check the contents and put his signature on the document. In other words, the only writing of Dr. Wilson's in the report would be his signature at the end. Yeah, that's the only thing that seemed like a significant difference from, you know, normal stuff, because it was just basic text. I see. So Iris got the wrong end of the stick, you mean? She saw that and assumed the whole report had been written by Dr. John H. Wilson. Which is very understandable, of course. What a complicated situation. You know, the whole thing, yes. The details of Clint's autopsy report have been updated in the court record. So, your partner? Thinking about it, most of what we know about you, Mr. Shlomes, comes from the published stories of your exploits. Yes, the adventures of Herlock Shlomes, written by Iris. And we really have no way of knowing what's fact and what's fiction. Most troubling for you, my dear fellow, I'm sure. So what about this supposed partner of yours? Did he really exist or not? Ah, you come straight to the point, I see. And please, come straight to the answer. I believe Iris explained it in one of her installments. He was a trusted comrade, and the only person I could truly have called a friend. And did this partner of yours truly make a record of all your cases? Just, my mind's like, okay, so you had a partner. Ah, it's like... I don't think that's connected to what we're talking about now. So, Mikataba's written the autopsy report. It's been signed by Wilson. Just anything that's got, like, potential handwriting on it now. Yeah, good, because I only wanted to see inside. I feel like this something was so close to. But I don't know what. there's something that's feeling like it's tantalizingly close, but I don't know what. This partner of yours truly make a record of all your cases. Who would he have been working with? Any person I truly called a friend. Are his notes really stored inside that metal chest? Absolutely, my dear madam. Absolutely. So, where's your partner now? I'm assuming dead. We rarely meet. Oh. You see, he lives on the other side of the world. Uh-huh. But if this autopsy report and the records of all your old cases were penned by the same hand... So yeah, so like this is where it's like Iris thought this was his handwriting and it matched the cases. Mikataba is his partner, which just raises loads of questions. I'm just thinking like it's connected to my thoughts of like her father is someone else. I don't think it's Mikataba. Because it's that simple case of like, it would be noticeable. Surely. I mean, the eye color for a star is brown. Very dark brown. And if the autopsy report was written, though not signed by your famous partner, there would be only one logical conclusion. Pray, impress me. Your partner would have to be Eugene Mikataba. In other words, Miss Suzuto's father. On my word, Mr. Naruhodo. Yes? You are coming along wonderfully. You have hit upon the method at last. You finally grasp the art of deduction. You mean to say? Allow me to introduce you to my great friend and partner, Mikataba. Professor Mikataba? Shlomes and Mikataba. Does this mean that you're the real Dr. Wilson? No, my dear. I'm still my old self, Eugene Mikataba, your father. Oh, of course. This is obviously too much for Suzuto-san to take in. I think it's too much for me to take in. It's just like, okay, this has to reconfigure everything in my head, combined with theories that I've got going on. It's like, okay. That's not Iris's father, so who's Iris's father? Is it Shlomes? I must say, though, how my old friend has attained worldwide celebrity as a great mystery solver is the greatest mystery of all. I still remember the first time we met. Ah, pray remind me, when was it again, Mikataba? 16 years ago, Shlomes. Ah, yes, quite. 16 years ago. I just arrived from Japan with Seishiro and Genshin. I was in search of lodgings close to the hospital, some comfortable rooms at a reasonable price. But rents are devilishly high in that particular area. That's right. So I decided I needed someone to share lodgings and the expense. And was fortunate enough to be introduced to Shlomes, who had found himself in a similar situation. I was a callow fellow back then, a mere shadow of the great detective you see before you now. I was working at the hospital's chemical laboratory, at the time indulging my curiosities for little gain. And the situation of our cohabitation led us to pursuing cases together, you see. Hard to believe, it was a mere 6 years. We had a great many adventure. In the last year of Mikataba's stay in Britain, that most infamous of cases presented itself. The case with which you become rather familiar yourselves, the professor's killings. After the trial, Sachiro and I were summoned back home. Hardly surprising, given the circumstances. So there you have it. And as you know, all the details recorded by my trusty chronicler remain in that metal chest. This is just amazing. Professor Mikataba really is Mr. Shlom's famous partner. Father? Goodness, my dear, what a cutting look. As your daughter, I am very proud to learn that you were the great detective's great partner. But, nevertheless, there's another mystery that I really must ask you to explain now. And that is? You know very well what it is. The unresolved matter of Iris's father. Yes! Yes! Ah, of course, I'd almost forgot about that one. I should have seen this coming, I suppose. Iris's father. It just felt like it was heading there as well. It's like, it's just, as I suddenly thought like she's 10 years old, it all started to come together at the same time. Like it wanted me to realize that. Iris told us that all the notes about the great detective's adventures that are in that metal chest were written by her father. Isn't that correct, Mr. Shlomes? That is indeed what I told young Iris, yeah. So what are you hiding? Who is her father? But if you're Mr. Shlomes' partner, father, and you wrote all those case notes, then Iris's father must be you. Ah. Upon my word, Miss Suzuto. You are coming along wonderfully as well. You too have hit upon the method at last. You finally grasped the art of deduction. What you've always told me, father, is that my mother died when I was born 16 years ago, and you left me in grandmother's care while she embarked on your study tour of Britain. And I've always accepted that. But all this about Iris. Oh, there it is. Suzuto-san's ice-cold stare. No, hold on a minute. It was very complicated. I mean, it's really not what you think. Then perhaps you'd like to explain exactly what it is. Oh, she's in the pose. She's getting ready. There it is. Now the eyes go from ice-cold to red-hot just before she... No, really, you've got the wrong end of the stick. Shlom, say something, man. Who? When did you get changed? That's quite enough, my fiery fellows. Mr. Shlomes? When did he get all dressed up? Whilst I don't like to interrupt this exciting exploration of the past, Mikataba and I have an urgent matter that requires a short excursion. But it's very late, Mr. Shlomes. Where must you go? Why, my dear madam, is that not obvious? My partner and I must pursue our natural enemies. So, get your coat, Mikataba. The game is afoot. But Shlomes, I really must give Suzuto a full explanation, I think. Later, my dear fellow, later. Our carriage awaits us downstairs already. You haven't changed one iota, have you? I mean, really, I visited our home after 10 long years. When I open that chest in a fit of nostalgia, I quite inexplicably pass out. And as if that wasn't enough, when I eventually regain consciousness, I'm plunged straight into all of this. Father, please, go with Mr. Shlomes now. What? I have no doubt that whatever happened, you are acting in everyone's best interests. I trust you. Completely. Aww. Suzuto. And sending the great detective and his great partner off on renewed adventures together is more than I could have hoped for in my wildest dreams. Very well then. We'll speak again later. So, I believe your homework is done for the day. I wish you the best of luck for tomorrow. Yes, Naruhodo. Good luck in battle. And in reaching a decision. A decision? However, to go back to Japan, I suppose.
So much happened that day that I barely knew what to do with myself.
Or how you feel, mate?
It would only be later that I'd come to realize how amidst the chaos I'd unleashed were all the clues I needed to finally unearth the truth, and that all the turmoil was necessary to give me the resolve to see everything through.
Well, end? But we haven't resolved the case. That feels weird. What? No. Final chapter. Oh. Oh, very well. So, yeah, we'll end this part here. I'm going to have to cut up like what I just did into several different parts and stuff like that. Like, really try and find a good point. Probably after the deductions. That'd be a good point. You'll know because it would have already happened from you. But anyway, we'll end this part here then. In the next part, we'll go on to the final chapter. The resolve of Ryunosuke Naruhodo. Ta-ta for now. Ooh.